we can fire half the engineers, as they said, but you might have to hire back one or two or three or four or five or six. Just because you can doesn't mean it tastes good. Be a master of your trade, period.
This is the Future of the Future show. I am your host, Mateo Berbejicio. AI is rewriting the rules of software development. But the real question isn't whether AI can write code. It's whether we actually understand the consequences. From companies rushing to replace engineers with AI, to the murky question of responsibility when AI-generated code fails, the industry is entering a moment where technical capability is moving faster than governance, accountability, and even common sense. This is why this conversation with Martin Miller is so timely. Martin is a veteran technology executive and CTO who has spent more than 2 decades leading engineering teams and building AI-driven systems across startups and global companies, including roles in AI ML operations, enterprise architecture, and cloud platforms. He's been on the front lines of how software actually gets built at scale, which makes him the perfect person to unpack the hype, the risks, and the real future of human plus AI collaboration in engineering. Martin, thank you so much for being here.
Wow, Mateo, I don't know. That's such an intro. I'm just an everyday guy that I breathe and drink water and eat just like other beings that have to do that to survive.
And play with AI.
Yeah, of course. I mean, is it really playing with AI or is it just using it? I don't know. Am I taking advantage of the AI or is it the AI taking advantage of me? We're still having that negotiation.
It's a blurry line right now. It's a blurry line. Um, Martin, what's the biggest lie we are telling ourselves about AI in software development right now?
Oh, oh no. You want to open Pandora's box? Oh my goodness. It writes perfect code and never creates an error. It's probably a big lie. But it's kind of funny to think about how confidently it can generate code and how confidently it can push things in a direction that seem okay at the surface level until you peel back a couple layers of the onion, as they say. It could do exactly what you asked it to do, but if you didn't give it guardrails, it could. I mean, you could be creating as many issues or bugs or anomalies as you are fixing in the same prompt, if you'd like.
Do you think I've heard people say that they have autonomous teams of AI agents running 24/7 without supervision, or even as far as saying there is AI supervising the AI agents, right? An entire Scrum team, including a Scrum Master, including a product owner, including an architect, the whole thing, right? Uh, do you think that exists and people are just going with that and not controlling, or do you think it's even an exaggeration and nobody's really doing that?
Okay, so I mean, you can have the machines talk to each other. That's not a question mark because it's absolutely silly to do it, but you can. Um, do you need a scrum team of if we take the slices of a pizza of eight, and do we need eight individual agents talking to each other doing the functions of a scrum team? Oh, probably not. You probably get away with a singular for one function and a singular for another function. Then I'm trying to run out of functions here to apply, but um, yes, the experimentation has happened, and I hear some of the funny stories that come out of it. I mean, set off your emotional support dog to become autonomous and see how well that works for you if the dog ever licks you.
Are we in danger of companies over rotating and cutting human engineers too aggressively because AI seems just good enough?
Um, I So over rotating makes me feel like the flywheel has started and we can't slow it down or we can't figure out what is the inertial control of it. So yes, no, maybe. I mean, let's just take a domain and figure out, is there a place for this to just run full speed, and is there a place that you have to have some guardrails? And I think in life-saving, life-threatening events, yeah, those apply where some guardrails might make sense. When there's some sort of governance, legal, regulatory, things that kind of you would ask yourself a question: Why would I do that? You might put a little pause. It does change everything. We can fire half the engineers, as they said. But you might have to hire back one or two or three or four or five or six when you figure out that the AI didn't solve itself. But don't throw out, as they say, the baby with the bathwater. You want to have subject matter expertise in the room. Subject matter expertise is difficult to uh, underestimate or overestimate when you lose it. But when you lose it, you'll know it because the AI didn't fix it for you.
Yeah. What I'm starting to see, and I want to hear from you if you are seeing something similar, is for the first time in many years in technology, I'm getting asked for full stack engineers that are going to be orchestrating AI agents. Their work is no longer to code, their work is to be a lead of AI agents. And the coding is being pushed to the agents, but the role of the full stack engineer is morphing into something of an orchestrator and going back to the you know basics and the fundamentals of being an engineer, a product engineer, and an architect. Are you seeing some of that?
Um, I might sidestep that slightly and go, I may be coming back to like looking at what does it mean to have actual requirements and measures of success um, defined as the leading element here versus the number of lines of code written,
Right.
because the lines of code written could be a function of that measure of success and functional requirements. So we come back maybe full cycle. Maybe we go back to waterfall and we
Yeah.
throw away agile now. And what because waterfall, if you spend more time defining it, you actually can, maybe it seems like it took longer, but you could use the tools of the trade today and maybe generate all your results faster. And so the upside is you get highly defined intent and highly defined measures of success. So there you go. I said it. I mean, you could take away fewer lines typing on the keyboard for I equals 1 to 10, but more time on the keyboard. Hopefully writing as a human, not just asking the AI to write it for you, what your PRD or what your functional requirements are.
Do you think there is a place for anyone to not use AI?
Um, so I mean, yeah, there's places for non-AI. I don't want to spill them all out, but I mean, do you want a police officer to knock on your window using AI, or do you want him to knock on your window at random? I mean, ask what the outcome could go wrong if AI was applied incorrectly.
I love the answer. If I may rephrase, Your Honor, um, is there a place for someone not to use AI in the tech industry, in the software engineering world?
Oh, you had to reframe it. Boy, oh boy. I mean, you made it sound so ubiquitous. I mean, I could use AI in the kitchen for cooking, right? So,
You can, you can.
and by the way, I have in helping me figure out some recipes, and but doesn't mean it tastes good. Remember, you can just because you can doesn't mean it tastes good, and apply that to the productization of anything you make, not just software, but actually a hard good too.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody said we are chasing problems with a solution in our hands. Instead of finding a solution for a problem, we are just chasing problems. Like, where can I apply this solution? Do you feel like it's a little bit like that nowadays?
Oh boy, it sounds like an ancient Chinese proverb. Man who goes to sleep with. Anyway, I'll just not finish that one. Man that goes to sleep with a problem wakes up, and we won't complete the sentence. But so to speak, the solution may be in hand. There we go. I said it.
Um, AI writes the code that causes a security breach. Who is responsible? The engineer, the CDO, the model provider?
Oh, you're cracking me up, man. I think it's the interviewer of the question asking the question, but that's okay. Whoever you could argue the AI is responsible if there was that kind of relationship and business agreement that the code generation from the AI is responsible, but there isn't. So it's going to be whoever prompted and committed and behind the scenes. I mean, you could have the AI do all those actions for you, but somewhere it was orchestrated. And you could say maybe I used an AI orchestrator, and then well, who orchestrated the orchestrator? You have to keep going back until you get the most responsible human or individual involved. And so I could say the AI could be blamed, but for doing something not expected. But are they really at fault? Yes, Your Honor. Mr. AI is guilty.
Um, if you were mentoring a 22-year-old developer today, will you tell them to focus intensively on coding, learn something else entirely? How will you go about that?
Oh, they should go on the Iron Chef. Learning to cook is a valuable skill, and it's like an alchemist. And so doing a product development is like an alchemist also. So be a master of your trade, period. I don't care what you do. If you're going to write software, you better know some of the basics. You better understand the fundamentals of debugging. And you should know what design patterns are and common design patterns and flaws of design patterns. There's books and books of this, whether it's online or physical book, that can help guide you through this. I'd still say become a master of your domain, period. The AI is only going to help you in some areas, and then in some area it may lead you sideways a little bit. So you need to have the domain expertise to know that, oh, I need to shift it over a little bit.
Fast forward to 2030, what does the healthiest version of human plus AI software development look like? And what does the dystopian version look like?
Oh my goodness, I was hoping to be retired by then. So- um, you know what I think, and this is what I'm observing, not just anecdotally, but actually what may be shifting here is some of the reach for looking for low cost ways of doing product development all of a sudden become less interesting, or to doing support and maintenance become less interesting because you can use um, a highly skilled or senior level person do more with the AI tools now than you can have, like, you can have an army of five to 100 developers sitting in foreign lands for a fraction of the cost, but you could have the AI do it and it's cleaner. I mean, so maybe dystopian might be killing most outsourcing. There we go. I said it. Maybe or near sourcing becomes dead. Who knows?
We'll see. We'll see.
Well,
I
that
was
you
reading.
want a
I
dystopian. You
Yeah,
want a
no, that's
dystopian.
dystopian. That's dystopian right there. Let me ask
Yeah.
you another question. There's the hype and there's the reality, right? I was looking at job postings in Indeed for software engineers, and it's going up. It's There's a graph that it's being posted out there that shows, um, regardless of AI washing, regardless of the layoffs making the news, the truth is there are more jobs right now. It seems in terms of openings, at least. One theory goes like every company right now has access to AI that can help them become more productive, automate more, innovate more, and they are bold enough to do it. Whereas before, they will maybe hire like a, you know, software company, etc. It goes back to your thing about each good developer is so much powerful right now, and so everyone thinks of themselves like a software company. What do you think about that whole spiel I just throw at you?
Well, I thought my dystopian uh, commentary was pretty spot on for the reply I was about to give you here, but let me keep the thread going. The argument could be maybe these are AI generated job postings and they're looking for AI agents to pick up on them. That would be the humorous side of it. But right, who needs a human to code when we could just have the machine do it for me? But
Oh
but
man.
step back, look at what a sewing machine is that sews fabric together to make clothing. Like I'm wearing a shirt, right?
Yep.
And before there were machines, there were people with potentially a needle and a thread, and they were doing it, one stitch at a time. And then the mechanism came in to be able to do this very repeatedly with a machine. And then you needed fewer of those people that could do it with the needle and thread, but not really, because now we had an acceleration of building more output product because of this mechanization. So maybe that's equivalent to what you're witnessing correctly now.
Some people say that AI is going to help us work less. I personally don't see that. I see that we are working the same or even more. And like you just said, we can produce more output, and there's a race, a competitive race of like it's now or never. Let's build more and more and more and more and more and go faster and go faster and go faster. Do you see a little bit of that, or do you think there's that possibility of us maybe, a 4 day week or something that gives us more time to do whatever we want to do?
Huh. That's a great idea. 4 day week. I'm just on the 2 day week. How do people get to work 4 days? Does that get double my pay?
Uh, that's it. You rest your case.
No, 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 no. I was just being facetious here. I have to explain that word to myself sometimes. You know, um, when it comes to output, there's always going to be a demand for more.
Mm,
If there is a reduction in the need for more, then we must be in a bad time, maybe another pandemic or some other a global event that's a bad. As long as there's a desire to do more with what we have or do more with less, I think we'll still get the same demands to do more.
I agree. Um, you said let's talk about retirement. Do you would you consider retirement like if you could retire today? Would you? And what would you do if you did?
This is my retirement, me talking to you.
It's
So, what does retirement look like? Does retirement mean you do nothing, or does retirement mean that you use your time more effectively and get more done? I don't know. What maybe the definition of retirement may be different for others, but um, I don't believe that all mankind will cease to exist because of AI.
and if you could step away from work, do you have any sort of um like some people go like, oh, I would like to open a restaurant. Oh, I would like to open a hostel in Thailand. Oh, I would like to just get on a bike and just run through America riding my bike, whatever.
Well, so I already do much of what I like to do. I love being on two wheels. I ride a Vespa, a scooter, and I'm part of a gang called the Vesperados and another gang called the Cocos. And we're a bunch of hoodlums and we just go out for coffee and we ride between coffee shops. I love it.
That's amazing. Do you have any other typical hobbies similar to that one?
Oh, well, similar. I mean, I I spend a lot of time mentoring junior engineers through senior execs. So I do that in my retirement mental phase, and it's entertainment value for me because I have no stress about worrying about corporate politics. I don't worry about wearing the right shirt or concerned of what people think because I'm happy in my skin and do good things. And as long as you can help others, I think you're on a meritorious path.
Martin, thank you so much. This has been an amazing conversation. I could keep going and going, man, but
Well, why
um,
stop the party now when I'm just a couple coffee cups from being a little bit more animated. Thanks for
well,
having me.
thank you so much, and I hope that we can stay in touch.
Absolutely appreciate it, Mateo.